In September of 2017, I was really hyped for iOS 11, like I am for every version of iOS that is just around the corner. I wanna try out the new version of iOS and see the new features that were added. Try them for myself. Even though a lot of the features Apple boasts about the new version of iOS, I usually don't use all that much. I mean, there are some stuff that I do like using, and they do redesign some apps and shit. It gets me excited, and the main selling point for iOS 11 for me personally was the fact that they finally brought screen recording to iOS. No longer did you have to go to these sketchy websites, download these sketchy ass apps, and then use those for screen recording. And a lot of the times those were pretty shit, and those had their fair share of problems. But finally, a screen recorder was implemented into iOS, an official Apple screen recorder, and it records great. Unfortunately, when I got iOS 11, I was pretty disappointed. And you might be asking, why am I making this video now? So late into iOS 11's lifespan, In just a few months, iOS 12 will come out, and hopefully it'll rectify a lot of the problems. Here's the thing, I was going to make a rant on iOS 11 just around the time I got it, discussing all the problems I have with it, but I was like, you know what, let's wait a little bit to its lifespan, because, every update comes with its share of glitches and bugs, and I'm sure Apple will rectify these problems within the next few patches of iOS 11. Nope, some of the biggest problems I've had with iOS 11 still persist to this day, and I'm sure they won't be going away. And hopefully, God willing, they won't carry over to iOS 12. Now, the biggest issue I have with iOS 11 is the keyboard. Okay, iOS 10 and previous, I have an original iPhone 6, not a 6 Plus, not a 6S, just the 6. It came with iOS 8, I believe. And, the keyboard was completely fine up until iOS 10. iOS 11, the fucking keyboard is way too responsive. When I'm trying to type something, it ends up, sometimes it ends up being this garbled mess, and, it just starts typing gibberish, and sometimes I accidentally send it out to people, I don't know, on Discord, sometimes on Twitter, or, sometimes when I'm talking to someone in a text message, someone in my real life, and they're like, what the fuck did you just write? And I'm like, it's the shitty-ass keyboard on my phone. I never had this problem before iOS 11. And I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but it's a severe fucking issue for me, and it's fucking annoying. And it's not just the keyboard. Sometimes the screen itself is a little too responsive. Sometimes when I'm scrolling, the thing starts scrolling up like crazy, and then, it's just fucking annoying. It's a fucking annoying glitch that I thought would be rectified within the first few patches, but nope, we're in April of 2017, and just a few months, iOS 12 will be coming out. iOS 11 is nearing the end of its lifespan, and these problems are still not fucking rectified for me. I don't know if this is just exclusive to my phone. I mean, you might be saying, oh, maybe you just fucked up the screen, maybe you dropped your phone and something happened. Okay, literally, the day I updated to iOS 11, the day I dropped iOS 10 and moved on to 11, I started getting these problems, and I did not drop my phone. I did not do anything to the phone. Just coincidentally, after I update from iOS 10 to 11, this shit happens, and it just pisses me off to no end. Now look, I take really, really good care of my phone, okay? Sometimes I drop it and shit like that, but I'm human, okay? I'm sure everyone has dropped their phone at least once in their life. The most damage you'll see on my phone is just a teeny tiny little crack that you can barely even notice in the middle of my screen, and that's it. I don't use a screen protector. I fucking hate screen protectors. That's just how I've always been. But anyways, I take really good care of the phone. So I really just pin all the blame on iOS 11 for this shit, because these problems did not persist until after I updated to iOS 11. And many people do say that there are glitches that come with iOS 11, and iOS 11 is just a buggy, glitchy mess. And I heard iOS 12 is supposed to rectify these problems. iOS 12, for once, is not going to be really focused on, ooh, look at these big new features we added, instead of actually giving a shit about the glitches and bugs and all the problems that come with the update. For once, they're actually going to focus most of their attention on all the glitches and bugs that iOS 11 brought, and hopefully rectifying most of these problems on iOS 12. And that's really mainly what iOS 12 is going to be focused on. And I so hope when I update to iOS 12, I'm gonna have a much smoother, much better, and mostly glitchy and buggy free experience, because I really do like Apple. I do like their products. I really enjoy my phone, and I'm not gonna get rid of my 6 until after Apple finally stops giving the 6 updates, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be when iOS 13 rolls around, and I actually did hear that the 5S is supposed to get iOS 12, rumored to get iOS 12, not confirmed, but heavily there's substantial evidence, saying that yes, the iPhone 5 will be supported. And at first I was kind of baffled, and then I was like, well, this makes sense. iOS 12 is not going to be this major update, and if iOS 13 is going to be this big redesign update, then I could really see both the 5S and the 6 being killed off next year. But anyways, I'm kind of derailing from the main topic here. iOS 11 is a huge mess, and it's just so sad and pathetic, and really just it's really so unprofessional of Apple to just roll out something like this that's filled with glitches and bugs and not really do much to solve the problem. Okay, yes, they did put out patches and shit, and of course, my experience has gotten a little bit better since I initially updated to iOS 11, but not by much, not really by much. And also in early December, I think this was December 3rd, there was this major fucking glitch going on with a lot of users of iOS 11, where the phone would just crash, like out of nowhere. You'll get a black screen, and you'll get a little circle loading, and then it'll take you back to the lock screen, and like every minute it would fucking do that. And I thought there was something wrong with my phone, and then I looked up. It was a big date glitch or whatever with the iOS 11, and you just had to update to a newer patch that Apple rolled out immediately to fix this, because of course this was a major fucking issue with people. And this never happened with previous versions of iOS. Like, you would think this would have happened with an early version of iOS, but here we are at iOS 11, and a major fucking issue like that happened. Oh, right, my battery has gotten significantly worse since I updated to iOS 11. Now, luckily, I have a battery case, but even on iOS 12, I was having my share of battery issues, but, my phone was getting older, so of course it was happening. But with iOS 11, oh, Jesus Christ, it really fucked with my battery, and I'm really looking into replacing the battery, because now it's just getting really out of hand. Like, out of nowhere, like, the battery case will die, the battery case dies, and, I'm just using the battery, the phone's battery, not the case's battery, and out of nowhere, the phone could be at, like, 60% and it just dies. Like that. And then I plug it in, and I start it up, and then it gets into this like restart loop, like it'll be on the lock screen for a few minutes, and then it'll just die again, and eventually it just starts working again, and I don't know what the fuck the problem is. I don't know how the fuck an update, a version of iOS can be this fucking bad. I mean, holy fucking shit. And I'm not the only person with these issues either. If you have an older iPhone, this shit happens. And it's just it's fucking ridiculous. It really fucking is. Also, remember that screen recorder that came with iOS 11 that I mentioned earlier? Which was the biggest reason why I got iOS 11. Well, here's the thing. Back in December, I made this Christmas special kind of thing, I guess you could call it the Christmas special, where I looked at a stupid 1 Million Moms article. A lot of you probably remember this. I used that screen recorder to make that video, and luckily, before I uploaded it to YouTube a few days prior, I looked up to see if everything was okay with the screen recorder, see if there was any problems uploading it, and if you upload it to YouTube or any other form of social media, the audio would not appear. Like, how the fuck do you roll out a screen recorder that also records audio, and it has this major fucking issue where the audio doesn't come out when you upload it to YouTube or anywhere else. And from what I've seen, this problem still fucking persists. Like, the only solution to that is like getting this other app that you have to put the video in that fucking video editor, and then save it to your camera roll, and then it's okay. Like, this weird fucking solution. Like, holy shit. And Apple has yet to fucking fix this problem. One of the biggest of new things to iOS 11 has this major glaring flaw that a lot of people are complaining about, and Apple has yet to fucking fix it. Fuck Apple, fuck iOS 11. I so hope iOS 12 is miles better than this piece of shit version of iOS. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.